From a furry trying to eat me in class to a furry fighting the teacher, these are the craziest furry stories of all time. And one of these furries tries to eat the teacher as well, and it got super weird, and yeah. So there was a furry in the first subscribers class, and just a little disclaimer that I have to do. I think it's obvious if you watch my other videos, but I have nothing against Minecraft kids, furries, whoever I make videos on, right? As long as you don't act the way, or emo kids, right? As long as you don't act as the kids in these videos do, then you're totally cool in my book. If this is just something you like to do, then we're totally fine. Nothing against you. As long as you don't act like these people. Anyways, there was a furry in the subscribers class, and no one really cared that much, right? No one really, they were surprisingly, no one was really that mean to them, which I definitely do not encourage. You cannot be doing that. Just because someone enjoys something doesn't mean you have the right to be mean to them. But, in a lot of cases, in high school, kids will definitely pick on people who are different. And, for a good news is the furry, no one really cared. They kind of let him live the way he wanted to live, which is cool. However, right, it all went south one day when the subscriber was sitting in class next to the furry. And the furry kid, he's not in a fursuit or anything, but he was doing some wolf howls. And this was before class or whatever, so he wasn't interrupting the class or anything. And, the subscriber kind of looks over at him, and the wolf kid, I'm just going to call him Wolf Kid for this one, to be specific. And Wolf Kid looks over at him and does another howl wolf, a wolf howl right at him. And sure enough, the subscriber is kind of just looking at him. It's okay. That's cool. And the teacher starts class, and the subscriber is just in class, paying attention, or maybe not paying attention. I don't know. But either way, he's trying to pay attention. And that's when he gets a tap on his shoulder. So he turns around, and he sees the wolf kid looking at him. And he's like, hello. And he's like, I just wanted to let you know that my wolf instincts are telling me that I'm hungry. And at this point, the subscriber's probably just thinking to himself, wolf instincts? Don't you mean normal person instincts? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But either way, the subscriber's like, okay, man, cool. And that's when, he goes back, he turns around, and he looks back at the front of the class. And that's when he gets another tap on his back. And he's like, okay, what is it now? And he looks over, and sure enough, the wolf kid is looking at him again and tapped him on the back again. So the subscriber's a little confused, why are you still tapping me on my back? That's a little weird. And the wolf kid is like, hey. And the subscriber's like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that my wolf instincts are telling me that you look very tasty. And the subscriber's just like, bro, what? What do you mean? And he kind of looks at him, and the subscriber doesn't say anything back, because I don't know about you, but I don't know how I would have responded to someone saying, oh, you look tasty, by the way. Bro, pause. But anyways, right? Sure enough, the subscriber's kind of just like, thank you, I think. And, the wolf kid's like, oh, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. And then they go back to whatever. At this point, right, the subscriber didn't feel weird when the kid was like, oh, my wolf instincts are saying I'm hungry, because, the kid's just saying he's hungry. There's nothing weird with that. But when the wolf kid says, you look tasty, after saying I'm hungry, that's just kind of weird, man. I'm not going to lie. There's no real way to justify that without it being yeah, that's a little strange. Come on, man. You can't say I'm wrong there. But anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber goes back to trying to pay attention. And that's when in the corner of his eye, he sees the wolf kid climbing out of his seat. And the subscriber's kind of thinking to himself, okay. And so the wolf kid is very slowly, to not draw attention to himself, climbing out of his seat, kind of sliding under it, right? And now he's kind of walking around the classroom on all fours. I think he's finally going into his true wolf self, wolf identity at this point. And the next thing the subscriber notices is a sensation of slight pain and pressure on his leg. He looks down, and the kid has bitten into his leg. So sure enough, the subscriber says something pretty loud. He's like, yo, what are you doing? And he says that full force. And since the subscriber said this so loudly, I mean, what's it called? The teacher looks over, the kids look over, everyone looks over, and everyone just sees the wolf kid biting into the subscriber's leg. So immediately the teacher's like, what are you doing down there? And the wolf kid says, I'm sorry, my wolf instinct said I was hungry and I must eat. And the subscriber is just kind of looking at this kid like, bro, what? What did you just say? And the teacher's also looking at this kid like, what? What did you just say, dude? And yeah, so sure enough, the teacher's like, you can't be biting people in class, get up. And, the wolf kid says, I can't get up. I'm a wolf. I'm staying on all fours. And the teacher at this point is just having enough of this kid. And the teacher comes over, is like, you're coming to the front office with me. And the kid starts like running around, running with quotation marks. He is kind of running around the place on all fours, howling at the top of his lungs. And by running, I mean like speed crawling. And obviously, when you're speed crawling versus someone running, the person running is going to win. So sure enough, pretty soon the teacher gets up, catches up to the wolf kid, grabs onto him, pulls him up onto his 2 feet, and walks him to the front office. So this furry might have been bad, but at least this furry didn't try and fight the teacher like this one did. So there's a furry in the subscribers class. And once again, no one really cared. However, one day, everyone kind of knew that was what, this person did in their free time. Everyone kind of knew that, because, they would come to recess and dress up in the fursuit. And the teachers low-key didn't care. They were like, okay. I mean, whatever. It's fine. But the thing is, right, one day, they had a pretty big test, right? So they were coming into the test, and the subscriber had a class with a furry. And, they had a big test. They've been preparing for this exam for a long time. And they're walking in. And the furry walks in a full-on fursuit, right? Which the furry had never walked into class in a fursuit before. And maybe if it was a normal day of class, it would have been okay. I think the teacher could have said this is a distraction to the rest of the class. I mean, bro, if girls aren't have to wear long pants and they can't show their shoulders because the guys are going to get distracted. Oh my God. I mean, whenever I think of a girl, I immediately think of her shoulders, obviously. But I mean, just think of it, right? If girls can't and guys can't wear all this stuff because it would be distracting, I can understand why someone would say you also can't be wearing a full body fursuit to class. I can understand that at least. But this isn't a normal day of class. This is an exam day. So everyone walks in, and the furry kid walks in a full fursuit. And the teacher does a double take, because imagine you didn't know that this kid, wears, fursuits in his free time or whatever, and you're just looking at, the kids file into class, and you're kind of checking down names on attendance, and then this Disney animatronic cartoon type animal character walks into your class, and you just have to do a double take. So the teacher immediately is like, who is this? Who is this? Because he has no idea, right? And so sure enough, the furry guy takes off his helmet and says, oh, it's me, professor, or teacher, whatever, and puts it back on. And the teacher's like, whoa, you can't be wearing that to class. And, the furry guy's like, I think I can. I am slowly transforming into my wolf brethren, wolf self. And the teacher's like, well, you can't wear that in my class. You can do what you want out of class, but I'm sorry, you just can't be wearing that in class. There's a little bit of a dress code here, even if it's rarely followed nor enforced, but I'm pretty sure that definitely breaks it. The furry's like, no, I'm going to wear this fursuit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Which is just the wrong thing to say in this situation, because you're saying to someone with a lot of power and authority, I'm going to do this, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that they really wanted to. They could figure out something to do about it, and sure enough, the teacher did. So the teacher's like, no, I'm not going to give you this test if you're wearing the fursuit. I'm going to give you, I will give you 5 minutes that I will not take off your test time. I'll give you 5 minutes after class to keep on doing the test if you go out and you change out back into your normal clothes. And the furry kid's like, no, I'm going to be my first self in here, and there's nothing you can do about it. And, everyone else in the class is kind of just looking around. The subscribers looking around are we going to start our test soon, bro? I'm not trying to be that guy, but, bro. And sure enough, right, the teacher's like, all right, well, I guess I'm not giving you the test. And the furry's like, You're gonna regret ever saying that. And he like lifts up his two paws, not his hands, not his fists, his two paws in kind of like a boxing position. You know how boxers will lift up both their boxing gloves, right, up to their face. So yeah, so sure enough, that's exactly what the furry does here. And the subscriber is just looking at this whole thing goes down and watches as the teacher looks at the furry and says, "What are you planning to do?" And the furry, sure enough, charges in and says, for the wolf brotherhood," and charges in, fist first, and completely misses the teacher, slams into a desk, tumbles over, and falls on the floor, and then starts crying in front of everyone. It is the biggest disaster you've ever seen. The subscriber just doesn't know how to deal with the situation. I mean, hey man, this is not a standard thing you get yourself into, bro. That's all I'm trying to say. But sure enough, right, the subscriber is just looking at this and it's just like, bro, what? What? Yeah, and sure enough, the furry's just on the floor like, the pain that I've inflicted on myself. So yeah, basically the furry tried to like charge tackle the teacher to assert wolf dominance and completely missed the teacher and slammed into a desk. The teacher's like, do you want me to walk you to the front office or do you want to walk to the front office by yourself? Basically the teacher at this point was just giving this kid an option like, bro, you've embarrassed yourself enough already. I'll just let you choose. But at least, at a bare minimum, at least, this furry didn't try and eat the teacher. I swear, these stories used to make guys. Anyways, so there was a furry in the subscribers class. And once again, I'm glad that everyone who submitted this story has been very fairly tolerant of, the people who dress up this way. I don't care. I know some subscribers of mine do this. I don't care. Live your life, man. I mean, that's truly how I believe, that's truly what I do believe. However, as long as you're not trying to eat me or the teacher, we're big chillin'. That's all I'm trying to say. So anyways, right, yeah, there was a furry in this kid's class. And basically, right, this all happened one day when they were, and I'm going to call this the wolf kid again, because this was specifically a kid who dressed up as a wolf and believed he was truly a wolf. And anyways, in class, it was like, I don't know, it was like 5th grade or something, and they were doing a unit on like animals and natural habitats and natural science and kind of just learning about like biospheres or whatever and like the world around you, the natural world. And they had just in this class, the teacher happened to be talking about wolves. So immediately, this kid, since he is a wolf self himself and he is 87% a wolf, of 12%, 13% person, 100% swag, of course, right, knows everything about wolves. So the teacher starts talking, and the teacher's like, all right, well, this is the whatever, the sandy, I don't know where wolves live. Wolves live, I don't know, man. I know where they live in Minecraft, but beyond that, probably just around the place. So the teacher was talking about the natural habitat that these wolves lived in. And sure enough, right, the teacher went on to go ahead and say that, wolves live in, I don't know, open grassy plains. This is probably not true. I'm just saying something for an example. And immediately, the wolf kid's hand shot up, and the teacher turns around and is like, yes, expecting, I don't know, a question, something maybe normal. At least the teacher was not expecting what the teacher was about to hear, which was the wolf kid saying, well, actually, wolves can live indoors and live in houses and go to school as well. Which the teacher's just looking at him with this blank expression. So obviously the wolf kid is implying that, he's a wolf, therefore the habitat can also include where he lives, which is in his own house, and he goes to school. And the teacher responds, no, Jeremy, wolves do not go to school. Because he's like, bro, this kid's in 5th grade. He's got to know at least. Because I don't know, the teacher wasn't expecting the kid to identify as a wolf self, but that's beyond me. And sure enough, the teacher's like, no, wolves live in like grassy plains. I think they live somewhere else, but we're just gonna say grassy plains. No, they live in grassy plains and they do not attend school. And the wolf is like, as the wolf kid, and the wolf kid goes on to say, as a wolf myself, I would like to say that you are inaccurate with your facts. I would have thought someone who went to school like you would have known this by now. And the teacher's like, you're not you're not a wolf, Jeremy. And Jeremy's like, what? Take that back. And the teacher's like, Jeremy, I don't have time for this. Basically, the teacher was saying, bro, we got to keep going on with the lesson. Like, the wolf section is like 3 minutes of the lesson plan. We got more time to go. I'm out of time. And the wolf kid is like, you don't understand what you've just done. You don't understand the power of the wolf brotherhood. You don't understand. And the kid literally gets up, stands on his chair, and starts howling in front of the entire class. The teacher just has this mortified look of like, this was not in the teacher manual, guys. I don't know what to do here. And everyone else in the class, including the subscriber, kind of realized at this point that this was not going to be a normal day in high school. Or middle school. I think I said 5th grade. So yeah, sure enough, the teacher's like, okay, you know what? We're just going to move on. Because at this point, the teacher's not going to argue with a kid who truly believes that he is a wolf. I mean, yeah, it kind of just sounds like a lost cause to me. And the teacher agrees. So the teacher's like, okay, now we're going to talk about, the Rocky Mountains and all the things that live there, as well as like what the pecking order for food is, and what natural growth is there and where it's located around the world. And the wolf kid is like, no, we are not done with the discussion about my people, aka the wolves, right? He's like, you need to correct the record saying that wolves can attend elementary school and they live in houses and they love video games. And the teacher's like, no, I'm not going to say something that is blatantly not true, but I am just planning to move on. And the wolf kid is like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand what you're doing here. And, sure enough, the teacher's like, well, I think I do. And the wolf kid's like, that's it. That's enough. That's enough of this. And he gets up and he literally Sonic dashes to the front of the class and jumps on the teacher's leg and bites in. Thankfully, the kid doesn't draw any blood or anything like that, so it's not like the teacher has to be rushed to the hospital because the wolf kid decided to fight him or bite him, right? But sure enough, after the kid unclamps his jaws, he's like, that was my wolf attack, and if you want to keep slandering the wolves, you're going to get more of that. Literally, after the kid said that, he's picked up by the scruff of his collar and dragged out of the classroom by the teacher, never to be seen from again. Okay, he was seen from again, but he did get suspended. You can't be biting teachers, bro.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.